Let's start with a quick poll. How many of us have taken the COVID-19 vaccine? That's right. But do you know what exactly the vaccine contains? The modern vaccines, like the COVID-19 vaccine, contain extremely small particles, invisible in the naked eye, called the nanoparticles. These nanoparticles can strengthen our immune system. But why does it take years for a vaccine to be clinically approved? In other words, why are there only a handful of nanoparticles that have successfully progressed to the clinical trials? Well, it's mostly because the real-life conditions are way too complicated and are not considered properly or overlooked in many cases. For example, if we see here, we find that in a real-life scenario, any nanoparticle when injected in the human body absorbs the protein in the blood circulation to form a coat on the surface, which gives rise to a new complex that we call the protein-coated nanoparticle. Now, while it is known that the coated proteins can change the surface properties of the particle, yet there is only a very, very limited knowledge on how this protein impacts the efficacy of the particles to activate the immune system. Does the immune system show a neutral response to the proteins? Or they impact the immune system? And in that case, do they cause an increase or decrease in the immune activation? In other words, can we measure or assess the efficacy of nanoparticle vaccines in the real-life conditions? And that's where my research comes in. I create nanoparticles and I design experiments to examine their potency both in the presence and absence of the blood proteins. And I find that these proteins negatively impact the immune system. Now, what it means is a particle which is designed to highly activate the immune system would actually show much lesser activation because of the shielding effect of the coated proteins. Insights like this give context to precisely interpret the body's response towards the nanoparticle. This will help us in understanding how a nanoparticle actually behaves in the complexities of a physiological environment. And even though we cannot completely control this adsorption phenomena, this study will be a crucial step in understanding how a particle and vaccine actually behaves in the body and thus will aid in achieving the required degree of immune activation so that we all can live a healthier life. Thank you.